It started like any ordinary Saturday. Local runners and walkers gathered at the local parkrun start line. People from all walks of life gathering to enjoy their weekly 5 kilometers dose of fun, followed, typically, by some caffeine-fueled socializing. Among them, Keith and Kim, each on their own path, were about to have their lives intersect in a serendipitous turn of events. As was his usual tendency, Keith stood a little apart from the crowd. His gaze fixed on his running watch, a symbol of the new life he had embraced. His journey to this point was one of transformation, from a sedentary tech enthusiast to a dedicated runner, spurred by a health scare that shook his world. He still remembers the first time he laced up his running shoes, the initial struggle, and how, over time, the roads, paths, and trails became his refuge, running his form of meditation. More recently, he had found himself eyeing the challenge of a full marathon, a distance that once seemed impossible. Kim, by contrast, is a whirlwind of energy and enthusiasm. She's been running since her childhood, finding in each stride a sense of freedom and strength. Her prowess in the 5K is well known in the local running community, but deep down, she harbors a curiosity about longer distances. Could she channel her speed and energy into the endurance needed for a half or a full marathon? It's a question that often lingers in her mind as she crosses the finish line. With the morning run concluded, Keith and Kim, like so many others, headed towards the nearby cafe. This is a time-honored ritual for most runners, and arguably the main reason that many of them actually show up each week. In any case, on this particular morning the on-duty barista happened to be particularly poor when it came to handwriting. 2 large flat whites, each marked with an indecipherable name, starting with K. Having both reached for the same cup, Kim, with a light laugh, offered one of the cups to Keith.
Looks like we're coffee twins today. I'm Kim, nice to meet you.
Keith smiled, accepting the cup.
Thanks, Kim. I'm Keith.
Oh my god, Keith and Kim? All we need now is for Cal to show up.
Having been brought together by caffeine-related fate, the two managed to find a spot to sit in the busy cafe. As often happens at parkrun, their conversation began with running talk, but it soon started to go a little deeper. Keith shared his story of finding running later in life, how it became a turning point for him. Kim listened intently, her own love for running creating an immediate bond.
You know, running has always been a part of my life. But seeing it change someone's life so profoundly is really inspiring.
The talk turned to their lives beyond the parkrun, or indeed running in general, their jobs and daily routines. It's here that they found another common thread, a shared restlessness, a desire to do something more meaningful, to channel their passion for running into something bigger.
I've always thought about doing something more with my running passion, maybe something online, connecting runners, sharing experiences.
Kim's eyes lit up.
I've had similar thoughts. Imagine creating a space where we could inspire more people to run, to enjoy it as we do.
As they talked, an idea began to take shape, a platform for runners, by runners. They started to envision a place to share advice, stories, and the joys of running. But as their enthusiasm grew, so did their realization of the enormity of the task.
We're talking about creating something big.
Kim said, a mix of excitement and apprehension in her voice.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. But perhaps that's what makes it worth pursuing.
As the morning progressed, they exchanged contact details, agreeing to continue their conversation after the next parkrun, the following Saturday. They parted ways with both their minds racing, filled with ideas and possibilities. And so, as Keith and Kim left the cafe, they were no longer just two individual runners. They'd magically become potential partners on the brink of an exciting journey, a journey that could merge their love for running with the vast potential of the online world. What will their next meeting bring? How will their idea evolve? Stay tuned for Chapter 2, where dreams start to crystallize into plans, and a shared vision begins to emerge from the excitement of their first conversation. In the interim, if Keith and Kim's story resonates with you, and if you find yourself dreaming of building a business you are passionate about, then I invite you to check out the information below for details of a free video series that will put you on the path to your own online success.